Alright, here we are with Broken Worlds, Exalted, Gangs of New Gloam, the introduction episode. I am Devin, the referee, and to my left we have Explain Why.
Nicole playing Boundless Jurisdiction.
Ian playing the Gilded Undertaker.
Kevin as the joyous child of the Crystal Mirror.
Peter as the other way.
Anthony as Black Rain Falls Silent.
Alright, listeners, so this is a game that is taking place in, or using, Broken Worlds. Broken Worlds is the RPG made by the author of Kill 6 Billion Demons. It is powered by the Apocalypse. We have an entire other Exalted game set in it called Skeleton Keys that you could also listen to. So, you know, you have playbooks, and everyone's going to talk about their playbook in a moment and stuff, or later on. It doesn't matter. We've talked about this before. So, with that said, this is also a game that takes place in Exalted. Exalted is a game that has consistently complicated rules that we don't want to deal with, but has a really nice setting for 1.5 of the editions of the 3 editions that are out. Like, first edition had pretty good setting lore, but it had some stuff in it that was kind of And second edition was so bad that everyone's basically considered it uncanon and garbage, and it was a nightmare and had no oversight. We've talked about that at length. And then third edition goes back to the first edition stuff and, you know, makes it interesting and neat and cool and stuff, and cuts away a lot of the garbage that used to be in it. Third edition's lore is really good. If you were to buy Exalted books, for some reason, I would recommend buying the third edition books for the lore. Also a few choice first edition books, but like you can go to Exalted communities and ask about it. There's a few, like Games and Divinity is a great first edition book to have, and Savage Seas is really interesting-ish.
A glowing
And other stuff.
recommendation.
And other stuff. I'm not here to talk about that much Exalted. Anyway, Exalted and Broken Worlds are games where you play larger-than-life kung fu demigod action heroes. And that is what the characters in this game are playing. They're larger-than-life kung fu demigod action heroes. The feel of the game is very much old-school myth, Sword and Sandals, Epic of Gilgamesh, the Bible kind of feel, and like old kung fu movies and stuff. And anime, so much anime. Escaflowne, and Gurren Lagann, and Ninja Scroll, and any anime you could ever think of. People will say is inspiration for Exalted, even though it's not really that true. And also Tanith Lee's Flat Earth and stuff. And the Black Company, and the writings of Jenna Morin. There's just so much for Exalted. Go look somewhere else for it. Not this podcast. We don't go into a lot of detail about what inspires it. We've talked about it in other places. This specific game takes place in a location in Exalted that we have made up. The city is called Glory to Mnemon. But most people want to call it Glory, but in reality it is called New Gloam. There's a city called Gloam in Exalted. It isn't there anymore. This city exists now, a few bit later, from refugees who built it up. It is a satrapy, which means it is a place that exists to funnel money into the giant empire in the center of the world. Or, to quote one of the creators, rape all the jade and money out of the area and funnel it to the rich people.
What the fuck?
That's what, like, city-states are for. Like, if a city-state in our actual living history ever conquered another city, they'd be like, no, it's going to stay there. But everything it ever produces is going to us. It exists to rip out all the natural resources and feed it into our bellies. That's what empires are, writ large. Looking at you, Britain.
Oh, called out.
Yeah, I've called you out, the British Empire, the largest superpower in the world that once existed. Now they're not doing so well, not ever since that Brexit happened. They're not doing too good anymore.
That's what did it.
Yeah, Brexit did. Brexit's what destroyed the empire. And nothing else. Don't at me, historians. Britain was doing fine as a superpower before Brexit. Nothing bad was possibly happening to them. Anyway, the satrapy of New Gloam is a city built on a sort of beachy, islandy part in the shadow of large mountains. There's not a lot of place to expand inland because there's mountain ranges there. Again, its creation is a big, weird place, so if you think big, large, weird mountains by a sea area on a large river don't really make sense geography-y, don't at me.
That is how geography works, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't
No.
care. I can't imagine why.
It's Exalted. It doesn't matter.
Mountains sometimes go at a right angle to other mountains and don't appear on fault lines because creation's a flat Earth. It doesn't have fault lines. Or it
Sometimes they're drawn
does.
upside down on the map.
Yeah, why wouldn't they be? That happens in creation. There's a mountain that just floats. Anyway, so to compensate for the fact that building inland more would be a big nightmare, they built up. New Gloam, it has skyscrapers type architecture and looks very much like any of the cities in Legend of Korra. Even though it's not quite that technologically advanced, it is. You know, they have radio and motorbikes and stuff that looks, you know, turn of the century-ish. But it's not Magitech. It doesn't use like essence reactors or magic reactors. It just is there. Don't fucking ask questions about it. We don't care. It's not the point of the game. It's just neat. If you want to say that the radio works because of electricity or steam or little gods or magic, shut up. You don't care. Make up an example. Make up a reason in your stupid head. People who are looking at it too closely. So yeah, the city is built around skyscrapers. At the core of each skyscraper is a large hybrid tree of like a mighty oak tree and a bamboo shoot. They actually grow fairly large and fairly tall and live fairly long, and they sway. And the skyscrapers are built around this core and also sway slightly at all times. And they have like lighting everywhere, and there are platforms built in around various skyscrapers to keep them more stable and give them like walking areas. Like 3 skyscrapers might have like a little like disc or like cube around it where people can walk from skyscraper to skyscraper like 30 floors up. The rich live at the top of the buildings because there are manual elevators and an endless amount of slave labor because this is a realm satrapy, which means slave labor is A-okay. The realm being, of course, the giant super empire in the middle of the world. This is a little further out, so the laws get a little looser and the culture gets a little weirder and unique. So New Gloam has like a manual monorail for moving material from the harbor inward into the city. People use it. There's a lot of manual and like machine operated stuff that's very not quite optimized and probably never will get optimized. This game isn't set in the far future. It's just set in a timeline where the other city of Gloam fell to a trade war. Like, it might just be the year after the Empress goes missing. Who cares? We're not going to focus on it. That's center of the world. The other big thing about New Gloam that's actually important is there is an island, because New Gloam is on the coast, and the coast of a giant, huge river in the middle of the map. And this island used to be a port where they would shake down ships coming through and take taxation and imports and censuses off of them. And there was a prison on the island that did slave labor, because why wouldn't it? It's a realm city. Some event happened in the not too distant past that pushed the island a little bit into hell. So this island is now slightly in sync with hell, and you can go onto the island, but getting out of it's a nightmare because it's actually hard and you have to be magic to get out. So what the city of New Gloam did was start throwing people into this place that they didn't want to get rid of, and they started actually taking money from other cities in the area and other nations and the realm central to throw their political distance in this hell prison island. It's kind of like Arkham City. It's a giant city island that is a prison that has its own fun culture and stuff in it. New Gloam and the prison have gangs they share that have prisoners stuck in the prison and prisoners in the city and like gang members in the city that cause mischief, and they're all very colorful and have unique names and stuff, and we'll make a whole setting PDF for this to show you guys. We're not going to go down one by one by one by one, but we're going to go through the events of the game when we get to the player parts. So, that is the gist. City with skyscrapers and vague early tech like radios and motorcycles and maybe, you know, transit of some sort.
Watch
And
Legend of Korra.
watch Legend of Korra, get an idea for it. Not everything in Legend of Korra was technology. It was weird and used the numinous supernatural effects of the setting to their advantage, but not in a way that was super mechanized and super efficient. Don't think too hard about it. That gives you brain spiders. It's a term brain spiders is a term for Exalted. When you think about things so much, you make the setting revolve around the stupid thing you're thinking too hard about. Like someone being like, if a solar crafter with just this charm and rolled this much could make this, then there go, this thing they invent, like say, I don't know, the car, would be in the entire setting. And the entire setting would have cars, and everyone uses cars, and now the setting doesn't look like it anymore. Or like, because Look Shy in the baseline setting is capable of maintaining and building some skyships, ergo, skyships should be everywhere, and the setting should be a skyship-based setting, because why wouldn't everyone use them? Stupid shit like that, where people ignore the narrative and thematic components of the setting in favor of a very narrow and often wrong point of view. Like, in the north, there's people that have skyboats, and they're really specific to make, hard to make, take a lot of materials, and they're like a trade secret, and like you could probably make them in the south, like away from the north, but it'd be a lot of investment, and war machines in the old world actually were a huge time sink. So it'd be like this huge undertaking to do, so they wouldn't spread everywhere. People just see and go, oh, it's spread everywhere. That's what brain spiders are. People not thinking. Because their brains are full of spiders. So yeah, that is the brief breakdown. Broken Worlds, Exalted, custom little city. The characters are all involved with the prison and the city in various ways and have goals they want, which we'll get to when we start talking about the characters. So we're going to go to you guys, and the first thing we want to break down is tell us what your characters, are, what they look like, what their exalt type is, and what their playbook is. We'll start. Who do we want to start with?
Are we also talking about like the backstory and stuff?
We'll do the backstory after we each describe the characters, so they can get a picture in their head of who these characters are.
Describe
Your
this-
individual backstory.
Yeah, like individual, like brief tagline, including what they look like.
They look like and their personal backstory.
Yeah,
Okay.
and their cast, exalt,
Yeah.
playbook, etc.
Okay.
And then we'll do the group background, because we use those fucking backstory cards again, listeners, to build a whole concise background.
And they're fantastic.
So Nicole,
Yes.
talk to the listeners about your character.
My character's name is Boundless Jurisdiction. He is a Zenith class cast Solar Exalt. He was a policeman on the local police force, but he was basically the only straight-laced cop in the entire precinct, and he found out about some of the dirty doings. So his partner betrayed him, framed him for, I think, a murder, and got him arrested, which was easier than it should have been because he's a beast man. He's actually like a crocodile person. He wasn't an exile at the time. I should probably clarify that. He was just a dude. So yeah, he got put into prison, and that's where he met the people. His given name, of course, isn't Boundless Jurisdiction. That's his exalt name. He has a different name as his real name, but whatever. For playbook, he is the Law.
The Law is a very fun playbook.
Yes. So he's basically still a cop.
Yeah.
The good
Also
cop.
a little Savage Dragon vibes. A little Killer Croc vibes.
How
Do
do
you
they
wanna
look?
Huh?
How do they look?
Like a crocodile man. With like
Like,
green.
do you have like a snout?
Yeah.
Not like Killer Croc where he has like a man face.
No, it's not like a man face. It's like a more crocodile face. Probably. It's not like one of those really long, pointy ones. I think that's alligators. It's like a shorter one. But whatever.
You look like a jacked dude with a crocodile head.
And like scales and tail.
Like spines
and,
and a tail, and like you don't wear a shirt, but you wear pants.
I wear a shirt and pants because I wear my police outfit still,
Okay.
although it has been bleached white and gold from my exaltation.
Of course.
Um,
New badge.
I have my police badge. Yeah, I still wear my uniform, and
With your big gun.
yeah, I have a. Usually, I use my martial arts to disarm people and everything.
Because you are, as a cop, you are of course a martial artist.
Just take them down like peacefully. But I also have a great gun, which is basically like a tank mounted weapon.
It's a fire dust cannon.
Yeah, it is big and causes a bloody mess when it hits people. Do you want me to go over the 3 laws? I think?
Yeah, go over the 3 laws
Okay.
that you follow as a Zenith.
Yeah. So
As the
as the law playbook, you have 3 ancient laws from like the old laws, what it's called in this thing that you follow. The first one is killing of innocents is forbidden. Duh. The second one is the act of betraying your allies is punishable by beatings or corporal punishment, however you want to phrase that. And the third one is trespassing on the oaths one makes is strictly forbidden. Basically, if anyone breaks those laws, I can basically, even if I have a suspicion, I can declare them guilty, and I have powers from it.
Drop it, creep.
Yeah. What else do we need to go over?
That's good.
Okay.
Alright. Ian, who's back?
Yeah. Hello. Missed you guys. Just kidding.
What a dick move!
No. So I am playing the Gilded Undertaker. I am a liminal. So I'm kind of patchwork looking, but sewn together with jade and gold threads. So it's very fancy dancy. I play the refined class, which is all about using your own clothes to fight, being very like rich and above people and looking down on them.
You're like a nobleman.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious and awesome.
Refined is a really cool playbook for being like supernaturally graceful.
Yeah. I'm good at painting and flower arrangement because why not?
Not just good, better than anything.
Yes, better than anybody. No matter what they say otherwise. It actually states in here. I have a manservant who just does things for me.
To be named.
Yeah, I'll name him later.
Names
He'll
are
probably be
important.
like Jeeves or something.
Wow.
It's like a family member, except
Yeah.
you can't leave.
Or
Shoe.
shoe
Yeah.
or lead.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as a liminal, a Chernosum Exalted, one of the Grave Earth, you were accidentally made because someone tried to bring the dead back, and that person is called a Demiurge. And the Dark Mother basically took that attempt and made it into you, a hero of the dead. So you have a Demiurge, and that Demiurge is out there in the world, and to just kind of talk about that, your character is looking for the Demiurge because they don't remember what they look like or who they are.
Yeah, my character doesn't know about their demiurge, and they...
Have an urge to find.
Yeah. Yep. That's my character.
Male.
Yes.
My character's also male. I think that was kind of clear.
Okay,
Kevin.
I'm playing Joyous Child of the Crystal Mirror. He is a sidereal chosen of Serenity and is a small, young, red panda beastman. He's like 15 years old. He dresses like an immaculate monk of the wood aspect and is very much a loyalist to the Blessed Isle as well as the Immaculate Order. When he was younger, like very young, the Fae basically attacked his village, and he was spirited away by the Sidereals for like trading his stuff. So nobody ever found him, but he's aware that a group of Immaculate Monks reached the village and saved quite a few of the citizens. So ever since then, he's felt very much a admiration for them, and he is very much a believer of the Immaculate Text. He takes very open views about it, in that he does not see the Exalted as these great enemies to be fought, but as something that could further enhance the Blessed Isle if peace could be found between them. He's very much someone who believes in a balance between all things. So he is in basically the prison as someone who oversees the religious aspect of it. He's a chaplain.
That's the word.
He tries to, protect the good cops and the good prisoners, and tries to find a way to keep everything serene.
Also, doesn't murder.
Also doesn't murder. He is distinctly against wanton murder. He's not going to stop an Exalt from doing it because he's aware that they have that kind of jurisdiction. But he also wants to temper their worst aspects because he knows how bad those can get, essentially. He is mostly here as an observer and someone who's trying to maintain the peace.
Okay, so my character is called The Other Way. He's an infernal fiend, and his playbook is the Master. He's more of a legend than a man, in so that his backstory is maybe shrouded in mystery. He used to be a great martial arts student in the realm, but left on the journey to self-betterment. Then re-emerged one day during one of the Sun calibration tournaments. He managed to win that and challenge the Sun himself, but not land a hit on him, and that wasn't enough for him, so he turned to some darker arts. He started studying under the 5 Days Darkness, and eventually became the champion of the Ebon Dragon. Whether he won the Exaltation game against Erenbor or someone else, or whether the dragon himself smiled upon him, nobody knows. But yeah, after that he eventually re-emerged back to the tournament, fought the Sun again, managed to hold his own for a while, and even land a hit on him, before deciding, okay, that's enough, and forfeiting with his little victory. And ever since that, he established his own dojo of his martial arts style, the Left Hand Path. It's named after his left hand, the hand that touched the sun, and also other connotations. And he's an older fellow. He looks a little bit like Fu Manchu, so the long mustache, long beard, dressed a little bit archaically for the times, perhaps. Like a Sifu. His left hand is that of the Ebon Dragon, basically, so it's like draconic and stuff. That's him.
Awesome.
I am playing.
Look, it's Anthony.
Oh, hi, everyone. Yay. Yes, I'm playing Black Rain Falls Silent, a Nightcast Abyssal with the...
Daycast.
Was it? I thought it was Nightcast.
No, Nightcast
Abyssal
is
said-
solar. Abyssal is Daycast.
Oh.
It means the same thing, but it's called day.
Because
Okay.
Abyssals were
'Cause you
unimaginatively named.
Okay, sorry,
I'm
Daycast.
sorry to derail that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, so that's cool.
I'm gonna name myself Alucard despite my dad, Dracula.
Yeah.
It was a
Pretty
Daycast
much.
cast.
Okay, well, yeah, so I'm playing the Hunter playbook, so I'm going for assassin type character. Snuck into the prison, and that's where I kind of met everybody to try and do my thing, I guess. Trying to, find fame and renown through killing.
So,
Sorry, I'm bad at
I'm
killing.
going to help you along here because, it's fine. So your character knows that in the city of New Gloam and the prison island is, of course, named the Peaceful Restful Island, or the PRI, the prison. Peaceful Restful Island, the Demon Prison, and New Gloam, the city, have the 8 most famous assassins in the East living in it, operating in it. And if you kill these 8 famous assassins by challenging them and paying them their fee to challenge them, you can go up into the rankings as the #1 assassin in the entire East, maybe the world.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah, that's about right.
And Anthony's character is also my student under my tutelage and so on, so...
Yes,
Yes.
Anthony's character exalted during the prison break to
Yes.
leave the prison at the start of the game.
Yes.
So you're recently exalted.
Yes.
And you're learning under a master, a demon master.
So, perhaps let's go over the recent history.
What does your character look like?
I don't know, she's in like her late 20s, dresses in like warrior's garb with blacks and purples, fights with a rapier that's like kind of like looks like a long thick needle almost.
Awesome. It's perfect. Alright, so we used the backstory cards to build a comprehensive timeline for this game, to talk about where the characters were and how they know each other, and to kind of set off where they are at. So, do you guys want to kind of dive in and just talk amongst yourselves about that to the listeners?
Should we, I guess we can go over one by one, or?
That seems like the best way to do this, otherwise it's just gonna be
Yeah.
a hodgepodge of
Yeah.
weird shit.
So, our story starts around the violent political rally.
Yes, Event 1, a violent political rally.
So, Anthony.
So I sparked a conflict between the president and the demiurge. And it's
My
not-
demiurge.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ian's
Specifically.
demiurge. Not resolved, and I killed a patient, which was the president's running mate of the demiurge, and got him thrown into prison.
So, the demiurge of Ian's is a doctor who is in New Gloam, and when we say president, we mean the satrapy, who's the person that runs this city. They had a running mate or a vice satrapy, or like a second in command, that was helping them consolidate power. And because he was a patient of that demiurge guy, who no one knows is a demiurge, it's just something we call him, the demiurge. Anthony's character killed that guy and pinned it on Ian's creator, and Ian's creator got thrown into fucking prison. Hell prison.
Oops.
Yep.
Okay, so after he was thrown into prison, the child kind of took him in, decided to protect him because A, he's a good doctor, and B, he's pretty sure he's innocent of the crime he was accused of, and C, a lot of weird threads of destiny like on this guy. So he keeps him in, he just protects him from his enemies.
Just gonna pause real quick. Alright, we're back.
Okay. I was with Peter's character at a gambling parlor, and during the political rally, and the point of view, I was on the side of the president. I want reform
satrap.
in this. Or, yeah, the satrapy. I want reform in the city. And this caused a bit of a kerfuffle in the gambling parlor, as many people disagreed with that, obviously. So we don't go there anymore because, yeah.
To contextualize this, the gambling parlor is Peter's main hangout. It's where he likes to go.
Was.
In the city.
Yeah. Yes. Not in the world. So now that now the violent political rally, we should also contextualize that because we have these short names for it as we were building. When the satrap's assistant, like second in command, was murdered, it caused a riot because people use that as kind of the pressure point to freak out about the prison and how people keep getting thrown in there without really a lot of trial or whatnot.
Also, it's a hell prison.
It's a hell prison and stuff, and it's like an abomination.
People don't come out of the prison ever. Like,
right? So it's creating this huge fucking like pressure on the city and riot and stuff. And like the satrap's like, okay, we'll reform it, we'll tone it down a bit. But other people are like, well, no, I'll take over using my family backing.
We'll crack down on them.
We'll crack down on these rioters, and you'll get back to work.
Yeah.
And now it's creating like people freaking out because the criminals use the prison as a great way to like enrich their lives.
So yeah, we like myself, Ian, and eventually Ken also showed up at that gambling parlor. There was a whole stint there, and yeah, we're not going there anymore since the violent political rally. Yeah, I guess.
Kevin basically pulled their ass out of the fire there.
Yeah, it just kind of appears like, okay, we're leaving now.
I'm an immaculate monk. Don't kill these guys.
Yeah.
Just act natural.
Yeah. Also, during the political rally before my character was arrested, I was also for prison reform. It seems like it's fairly corrupt. And I was very surprised to find that Ian's character, who is all stitched up and also a nobleman,
Kind of part
Rich
of the
person?
like he's part
yeah.
of the rich person cast, was also pro prison reform. That's very surprising. Usually the rich don't give a shit about that. So,
a friendly guy.
So yeah, Ian showed a side of himself I was not expecting.
Yep. After his running mate died, or was assassinated, the president needed money to fund his election. So, being the wonderful nobleman I am, I funded his re-election. And
Election is in giant quotation marks because it's a satrap, so they have political power from the realm to be in charge of the satrap.
Yeah.
His vie for power.
I funded his vie for power.
Yeah.
And because of this, he gave me a all-access pass to the prison. I can go in and out as much as I want, whenever I want, and no one's going to argue with that. This made us even, as my character does not hold, long-term things. They're like, if you do something for me and I do something for you, even, not gonna hold it over your head. And yeah.
So I believe my partner and the police that are super corrupt in the city used stuff that happened during the revolt or the riot to frame my character, and that's what got me thrown in jail. After I was thrown in jail, one of the gangs in the prison called Mnemon's Rockers sent people to kill me because I'm a cop.
Cop in prison.
Right? So they sent people to kill me and Peter, maybe because they know you, maybe because you're with me, I'm not sure where that was from. But they sent people to kill us. I actually exalted from that because we were losing, I was close to dying, I exalted, kicked their butts, and I spared their lives. I basically brought the main one back to Mnemon's Rockers. It turned out it was the child, son or daughter, whatever, of the leader of the gang. So they like me now. They're like, you spared his life, that's great, and also you have this new commanding presence, and you're clearly not a corrupt-ass cop.
So after Boundless Jurisdiction was arrested, Child kind of latched onto them and feels very responsible for them because they're a solar, and also one of the very, very good cops in the city, like one of the very few. So he's seeing all those kind of threads attached there as well. So he's taken it upon himself to, help guide him along.
And that's also what led to when I attempted to confront the warden way before I was ready because I did not quite understand the situation.
Whoa, dude, you're only Essence 1. What are you doing?
I guess I was feeling conceited because I had all this new power. So I went to go try to fight the warden because that means that I get to be part of my crimes.
To contextualize
Yeah.
that, there are many gangs on the prison island, and those gangs are divided into like the directional blocks, and each block has a king criminal that's super powerful that controls that section, and they report to the warden, as do the guards and all the other staff. The warden is a enigmatic, mythic figure that no one knows the name or appearance of, and if you wish to leave the prison island through the front door, you have to kill the warden, the most powerful person in the prison, of course, because only the most powerful person could be warden of this prison. And if you beat them, not only do you get to leave the prison, but all of your crimes are exonerated, because the strong rule.
For reference, Rikio, the story of Ricky.
Yes, please watch Rikio, the story of Ricky. It's on YouTube in various translations, and it's a fucking madhouse.
That's a strong inspiration for this game.
Yes, that and Ongbak and Arkham City.
Yes.
3 core inspirations.
So yeah, I went to go take on the strongest person in the
Yeah,
city.
you went right to the
prison.
warden's like prison castle.
Way too fucking early. Kevin's character was like, whoa, 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 whoa. You need to chill out and back away from that.
Yeah, he definitely thinks that like balanced jurisdiction can do it. It's just not yet.
Yeah.
You're the perfect person to reform this prison by going and killing the shit out of the previous one.
To kill the warden, they say to kill the warden, what you have to do right beforehand is fight the 5 divine crime lords for each direction, for they each know a secret to the warden's power that can undo him. But to fight them, you have to beat the gang bosses that live in each one of their directions. And to do that, you have to work your way up the gangs. But also, to get close enough to the warden's castle, you have to go through the parole board, the laundrymen, the commissary, the food line, and then the guards and the elite guards at the heart of the castle. And once you go through all of that and work your way up, you can fight the warden.
You have to beat up everyone.
The prison island has its own demon ecology that's unique to it, which includes first, second, and at least 2 third circle demons that kind of hang out in it. You don't have to beat them all again, but understanding those demons and the ecology of them also helps you understand the warden's power.
So yeah, I hadn't done any of that shit, so...
I
yeah.
didn't do any of that Breath of the Wild, fight the divine beasts bullshit.
Okay, so I needed to confront the doctor, Demiurge, whatever. But I got poisoned. I needed Solar's help
Yes.
to get unpoisoned.
Yes. Basically, I vouched for... Anthony's character was poisoned, probably a rival assassin, or who knows. And I
think it
basically...
was actually the doctor, because...
I don't think it was the doctor. He didn't know yet. He didn't know.
Don't they hate me for framing them?
He didn't know yet.
I didn't know that you framed it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
so
that good?
what happened was, you were fucking poisoned, but the doctor's like, she's clearly like some kind of assassin chick, I'm not gonna, like, what the fuck?
She's wearing assassin symbols.
I was like, calm down, it's fine, I'm sure she's a good person, you know, I've only ever seen her kill bad people, it's fine. So please just help her, you're a doctor, you should help people. So he did, unpoisoned you.
And then you got into the fight.
Oh yes, so gracious about being
Oh my god, the
unpoisoned.
next step you tried to kill a child.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Literally the same day.
He had a hit in the chapel, and the child was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, he tried to kill the child.
Well, the child attacked me.
They were a witness.
So yeah, there was someone in the chapel who was a target, and he tried to stab him, and then Panda Kid just picked up a giant bench and tried to beat her with it because Sidereal. It kind of permanently warped the church in that there's weird echoes, and it's just kind of not quite a sinkhole of
Yeah.
into the abyss, but close. But now we have an understanding and a healthy respect for one another.
Big foreshadowing. So, and then I brought Ian in to help retrieve something of personal importance.
What did we,
I guess that.
We discussed what it was, but I don't remember what it is.
I don't think we discussed
'Cause it wasn't
specifically
written
what
down.
it was.
You probably left something in the chapel, and you were like, I can't go back in there again. That small child was so angry.
There's a grumpy panda in there.
I think what happened was you saw Ian, who has free reign, because there's obviously a way for people to come in and out of the prison that the dynasts have, and they've given it to Ian. And so you're like, I can use that. And then you're like, whoa, dude, you're looking for something special, obviously, and I know important people in this prison. And that's why you got in touch with Ian's character, because you brought him into the fold, into the circle of these conspirators who were building it.
Yeah. I would assume the personal importance is just like information on the
How to get
prison.
out.
Like,
These
the
people
prison
are
in
the
general.
people in the know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he offered him some body parts.
Yeah, we kind of glossed.
Okay.
That's
Oh.
really cliche.
Okay. And meanwhile, I was prison. I did see that panda child, and it reminded me of my old student that was also a panda person. And
That's racist.
He's Red Panda Beast Man.
the other way has his.
Oh, was he actually? I thought he was just like his attitude or something.
Not
Yeah,
all
no,
pandas
it was
are the
really on the
same.
nose. They reused the character sheet, the art in the animation.
I mean, it's not the first time Kenneth played a red panda, so.
It's literally the
Actually,
same
the same
character every
character.
time.
Yeah.
There's so many spiteful Red Panda people in this game.
So-
Previous student.
And then a prison break happened.
Yeah, so you guys figured out how to break out of the prison without using the front door. You did, and it's actually going to be your base. There's a small base in between the prison and the city underground, like that goes through the river, that you're using as your base of operations. So you did a prison break, and during the prison break, a bunch of stuff happened.
I gained, like, after talking with Anthony and some of the other prisoners and whatnot, I learned that my demiurge is someone in the prison. I don't know who it is yet, but I know they're in there. So it really drove home my goal of I need to find them, because before I wasn't looking extremely hard. I was obviously looking, but not.
Now
You
have
had
a
no.
lead.
You had no. Lead,
Yeah, I had
so.
no lead.
Now you have a
so,
lead.
Yeah.
I helped out with the prison break. Unfortunately, I was too sloppy, and they saw my face, and now the police know that,
You escaped.
I'm breaking in and out of prison with or without other people.
Was it sloppy, or were you just looking for attention because you want to be the #1 assassin?
Oh, well.
So yeah, after the break, me and Anthony were on the run, and I managed to hide us both, and he still hasn't repaid me for that
I'll
favor.
repay you with blood.
And during the prison break, that was kind of the first time Child met Ian's character, and he was also surprised by, the kind of person he wound up being, where he was like helping people rather than just concentrating on escaping.
Everyone's so surprised.
Well, I mean, you're like a nobleman who was like in the middle of a prison riot. He expected you to like run to the guards and said you were like helping.
You're
other
rich
people.
and an exile. You should be a dick.
Yeah, so now he's keeping an eye on you as well. Well, simultaneously having an eye kept on him by the warden for
Yeah.
dealing with jurisdiction.
During the prison break, Anthony's character Exalted. So I witnessed that, and of course, with his type of exaltation, knowing things about his past and knowing things about his exaltation is not good, so we just don't talk about it.
Awkward silence.
An abyssal. You're in liege to a Death Lord.
Yeah.
And that's all of the backstory cards.
Yep.
That's it. So yeah, that's kind of the nice conspiracy and background that all the characters have. They know each other, they're connected. And when the game starts, in session 1, which will be, I guess, a week from when you hear this, listeners, or the very next episode, depending on the timeline, we will launch with whatever the players want to do, because Broken Worlds is a Power of the Apocalypse game, is player-fed. So their goals. So we got goals like Nicole trying to take down the warden, Ian trying to find his demiurge, Kevin trying to reform the prison and take down the real pain points in it that make it a miserable place, Peter trying to subvert the prison and make it work for him,
Establish the dojo in the prison,
take down other dojos which exist, and Anthony's of course looking to fight the 8 famous assassins and get in contact with them to pay them to fight them. So
Pay
you're
them to fight them.
yeah,
You
you
have to
have
give
to.
them-
Can I pay them to fight
No more heroes.
for me?
It's no more heroes. We ripped off. I'm using the music from it. So
Okay.
all you have to do, you have 2 things you're doing in the game basically: gather wealth from when they're doing stuff, and then using that wealth to get a meeting to fight one of the assassins.
So I basically have to hire a hit on myself to
Yes.
Yeah.
get a chance to fight these assassins.
That's the only way they'll fight you.
Oh my
is if
god,
there's a
that
hit
is
on you.
metal.
Right?
That's actually, they're assassins.
They
They,
have
don't
to-
kill people unless
Yeah,
they find to do it.
I'll hire them, and they have to find me,
Yeah, and there's an in
and
between.
then I can fight on my terms.
That's right. Or you go to their arena.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
this assassin
cool.
will
Yeah,
get
they
this
have
one.
arenas.
They'll have arenas.
Get the dojos.
It's just a cardboard box you have to get into with them.
Right.
Circling back, though.
Oh, to Kevin, he didn't talk about his playbook.
Oh, mine's the beggar. It's one based around
Bagger?
Beggar.
Beggar.
Bagger.
Not like a safe.
Okay, Mr. Wall.
And it's basically about being weird and subversive and using improvised weaponry.
The beggar and the master are kind of the best sidereal inspirations in the game, along with the hunger and the refined and
All of them.
all of them.
They're all
The
really
beggar and the master are at the top, but all the other rest of them are like a close second because they're all really good for sidereals in
They're all really good
various
for
little-
everything.
in various little ways. So yeah, I think that's everything.
Yes.
So at this point, we'll probably wrap it up. That is the intro to Gangs of New Gloam. This is of course, it's not a feature-length game. Feature-length games are the ones that run like 3-4 hours per recording. This runs 60 minutes and under. It is one of our, I don't know what to call the non-feature-length ones. Bite-size, short ones,
Shorts.
shorts,
Snackable.
consumables. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. I should have like 4 months ago when Skeleton Keys came out. So, I was Devin,
Nicole.
Ian.
Kevin.
Peter.
Anthony.
and this is sponsored by Nobody, with Ian and Anthony back after a year. Signing off.